So in a cop's mind, he pulls that trigger because he knows somewhere inside of that man's heart there's a potential of to be Christ. You know what I'm trying to say? And so they're killing that black man because of the fear that because it's not like the black man will be unarmed. The black man doesn't really have any social economic standing. We don't really have, you know what I'm trying to say? So you're trying to think, how the fuck can they hate us like this? They're hating us because inside of them is demons that their job is to keep the vibration of this world low so they can survive. Now, you have a soul, I have a soul. But if you don't have a soul, then this world is the only place that you exist in. So when this world is over, you no longer exist. So what would you do to keep your world going? That force that they've energetically tied onto, they're allowing them to keep their race going, and those demons are allowing the demons are allowed to stay operating. You know what I'm trying to say? So they work hand in hand. Now, with that said, those demons still work within all races of people. Those demons still work within black people. Those demons still work within Indian people. Those demons still work within Asian people. You know what I'm trying to say? But this narcissistic empath thing, this is the battle between love and fear, good and evil. For questions, comments, and to show your support, visit us on the web at afroempath.com. All right, brother, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, welcome back, man.
What's up?
I just want to hear what you have for me. You know, and what is it? You said you have a little bit of a new I don't know, outlook on narcissism. Wrinkle? Yeah, wrinkles. Please tell me, please.
I got it. Okay, I'm gonna bounce this off you because I think I'm gonna do an article on it.
Please.
When I say to you, what do you think of the notion of racial codependency?
What aspect of it in particular?
In that, when it comes to entertainment, education, and employment, we are racially codependent on whites.
I mean, absolutely, yeah, of course. But it's not that that's not the, you know, the monetary issue is not the surprising part. It's the energetic part. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. Sure. Because I've never known a codependent to advocate for themselves. They operate in fear. That's why women never leave narcissistic guys. Oh, he'll come around and I'm just gonna hang in there. It's like, no, it's like having this relationship because he's gonna hurt you. Oh, no, he's not. He just gets a little angry sometimes. Sit there and rationalize. Staying in there. So when the light bulb went off, especially when it comes to entertainment, education, and employment, Black people have this thing in which we have to please the giant. If I want to advance, if I want to get a position, if I want favor, I'm not going to be myself. So I'll code switch. I'll shave all the hair off my face. I'll perm my hair. I'll make you feel comfortable in my presence because as I am, you're not going to accept me. So I have to modify my appearance to make you feel comfortable around me. That way I'll get favor, which makes it really competitive between Black people. We get really competitive for these coveted house Negro positions or favor or money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what it is, it's worship. Now, we've been programmed since slavery to worship white people through them using Christ and taking our Messiah and putting it in their image. Now they knew that instinctually something inside of us knew that we always knew it's inside of us, even as they beat the love almost completely out of us and God almost completely out of us by making us into almost like animals. There was still a small spark of light and of God within us, and we knew that there eventually would be a man that comes in to be our rescuer, our savior. And so what they did was they used those same verses and those of the Bible that our ancestors wrote a long time ago and brought up into Europe, and then they took that and they painted their image on it, and they're still sucking from that energy of us worshiping them to this day.
Yep.
So the favor that they're paying is no different than putting down some kind of sacrificial thing to an altar that you worship, you know. But
Right.
what we sacrifice as black women, they sacrifice their femininity to get ahead in the workplace, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ouch.
yeah. It's true, but they become our women have become hyper masculinized. You know what I'm trying to say? And our men have become hyper feminized. Do you not agree? Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
So these are the things we've had to sacrifice to be good slaves in the white man's society, because he is our God.
Correct.
Because that's exactly it. Because it's easier to go outward and to get certain things in his material universe to feel good about yourself, as opposed to going inward and finding God within yourself and knowing love within yourself.
Right.
Yeah, and that's that's inner conflict that we all have to face, not as just black people, but as human beings. Because to be honest, the whole world is in a state of white supremacy, not just black people. We just are in it worse. That's all.
Yeah.
And we are the
white
biggest
males are next in line, and it's not so much racial with them; it's more power. But yeah.
I mean, the reason why why they put such a strong hold on us is because obviously, you know, we are the original people. And the seed of God is they know the seed of God within us. When I say us, I mean particularly one man, you know, in terms of my beliefs, is going to come back and have the power to destroy their world. So it's important to keep us down in particular.
Well, of course. I mean, that's for 600 years of conditioning. But let me ask you a question.
Sure.
And this question is troubling. I think we did it to them first.
Yeah, there's no way for me to prove that, but I would have to agree. I mean, well, number one, I mean, I'm not sure how much you know about. I mean, to understand our relationship with white people, you need to understand. I mean, you really need to understand religion. You need to understand psychology. You need to understand genetics. You need to understand a lot of different aspects. You know what I'm trying to say? So, to go back to the beginning, before the universe was ever created. This is going back to the Garden of Eden, or basically, there was, you know, we all had free will, and eventually someone chose to create their own universe. You know what I'm trying to say, and be like God. And they essentially that universe that they created, you know, became the story of Adam and Eve and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. We as black people, we existed. Our souls existed in a place before this world was created. You know, and
Sure.
And white people were originally created as Neanderthals within the world. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So Neanderthal, they were. I'm not sure if you agree with this or not, but how are you going to have a group of, you know, people that are building pyramids and having all, you know, and that are almost like gods, right? And then have at the same time people that are like some kind of monkey hybrid human. You know what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
That's what you know what I'm trying to say. How could evolution? Like that doesn't make sense in terms of the theory of evolution.
Sure. Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? That doesn't make any sense.
I see what you're saying. The angle I come at it from was when we were one big landmass, right? The whole thing. You can see how Africa fits nicely into South America, and the whole landmass kind of fits in. The Africans. When albinos were being born, the albinos were driven to the north and to the east. Then the Ice Age happened, right? And then this Ice Age happened. And so as they were in these colder climates, their hair grew longer. Their noses got smaller. And they had to adapt to a very harsh environment. And so now that now the land masses are apart, and Africa is the center of you know, where food, engineering, and this whole notion of this African cosmology is centered in Africa. So as they start to come back in slowly, and they bring that warlike bellicose attitude with them to come back in and to reassert themselves. And so we, being the xenophiles that we are, which is a cursing and a blessing at the same time, we accepted them And that was the beginning of the end, because once we let them in, you know, everything kind of went downhill at that point.
I see what you're saying, but there's a flaw in that theory. There's several flaws in that theory, and I've heard that theory before. And that theory is what white people like you to think. They like you to think that we all came from Africa, and then they kind of went off into the hills of Europe, and or maybe some other colder regions, and they kind of just naturally evolved into the fair skinned people. You know what I'm trying to say? The issue with that is,
so you don't think they came? You don't think they came from us?
No, not necessarily. No. They were okay. So we had the ability to create the pyramids, right? That still can't be proven by science, correct? How we did that, correct?
Sure.
Science still can't prove how to do that. There was, see, you know, and so there, how can I put it?
It kind of makes sense to me, being one landmass, the albinos being driven off to one side, to north and to the east, and this notion, because being white is recessive.
Yeah.
Right? And they, you know, when we get with them, their babies come out black. So if white is recessive, which makes sense to me, because if you are of me, but you don't carry the
But they didn't start as
gene,
whites, though. That's the thing. You're skipping a part. They didn't start as whites. They started as Neanderthals. That's you're skipping. So take all that white stuff out of the factor. How did a group of monkey men, right? Monkey men didn't come from us. Black people don't create monkey men. They're not. You know what I'm trying to say? They're not of the human family. So no, they didn't come from us. No, they were created in some kind of experiment. You know what I'm trying to say? But that's not that hard to imagine. We could, to this day, we have science that can create all kinds of, you know, look at the fucking food we eat. You know, there's sheeps right now that can produce milk that's spider silk. People do all kinds of strange things with genetics. That's not impossible. That's within the realm of probability, and it happens to this day all the time. So humans can create hybrid animals, right? The thing is that when creating a humanoid hybrid animal, right, inside this world, this is the thing you have to understand, that we fell. This is where religion comes in. We fell from a place before this universe was created. Now the thing that we kept that was real was the soul, which is the seed of God inside of man, right? And we fell into this universe. And eventually that soul, as the vibration got lower and lower, that soul began to be entrapped by our shells or our vessels, and we began to think that these vessels were us. Now, eventually the vibration got low enough that I don't know sure what happened, but I don't know why that these ancient Egyptians or whatever they did, I don't know why they created a race of Neanderthals. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know why that happened. But somebody did. Some it'd be like just like we're living in America right now, right? Is why did somebody decide to create some kind of animal hybrid? You know what I'm trying to say? Some kind of crazy, you know, cow that produces a crazy strain of milk, or some cow that has a big fat thing of meat. You know what I'm trying to say? There's all meat and no,
Sure.
You know, there's who knows the reasons why. But it's not like everybody signed on. But eventually, the theory is that somebody created a race of Neanderthals. Now we know Neanderthals existed. We have bones. That's not debatable. And if there's a study called it's called the Neanderthal Genome Project. You can look that up. The Neanderthal Genome Project. And what that's proven is that all non-Africans are part Neanderthal. And to this day in Africa, there are still Africans that have literally no Neanderthal DNA in them whatsoever.
Right.
So what I'm saying is there's two completely different species of human beings that eventually walked upon the face of the earth, and one of them fell from the eternal and had a soul. One of them was created in this world and didn't fall from the eternal and did not have a soul. By us mixing, that gave them opportunity. That gave them, number one, genetics to be able to be intelligent and begin to walk upright and to not have tails. Some of them still have tails, but you know that's besides the point. But the point is that they were allowed access to a soul, and they were allowed access to intelligence through that soul, and we were able to teach them. I'm trying to say how to understand the 7 liberal arts and things like that, you know. But still inside them, there was still a hatred because they knew that they were the freak of the human family. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And so they always hated, in a sense, their father. You know what I'm trying to say? Who created them? It's not like all black people went around and wanted to create them, but it happened. You know what I'm trying to say? And so, like, how to put it? I'm not sure. Well, number one, what do you think about that theory personally? What is it? How does it, like, as a person that probably thinks it from a scientific method? How does that strike you? Believable or unbelievable?
Well, it's I think there's some truth in all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, there's some truth in what you say. There's some truth in what I say. Everybody's trying to piece together. Everybody's trying to look back, kind of see where we came from. I know that even today, that two black people can produce blonde-haired, blue-eyed albino.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what that other thing's called, where you can see blotches of whiteness in the skin.
Vitiligo, yeah, vitiligo.
Yeah, but yes, and those things are kind of that's there. So when you look at the composite, I see the whole is comprised of many parts. Some parts we can decipher, some parts we can't. To know the whole story, it's tricky. One part does not explain the whole, and we all got little bits and pieces of it. And one day, it's going to be something comprehensive. It's going to be logical, and someone's going to put it all together, and we're going to see just how this thing happened. Yeah. Do I believe it's possible? Yeah, sure, I do. But everybody's got a little piece of the part, and the part is comprised of the whole is comprised of many parts. So, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that, like, when I came to understanding the religion later on, and I read the Bible and I heard, like, the term Jews and Gentiles, us being the original Jews or whatever, us being the people that were the ancient Egyptians and the Hebrews and the people that wrote the Bible. I understood now why they had terms like Gentile and why they separated us, because there was a certain light within inside of us that we carried, and we knew the laws of the universe, and we understood that this world was not our home, and that we were trying to return to a place of eternity, and we were dealing with a race of people that didn't know, they couldn't possibly know this yet. You know what I'm trying to say? And we were trying to evolve them into a knowing of that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And so now there is, in the Gnostic understanding, there is a force that, I guess in the Christians there would be a theory that a host of beings that decided to use their free will to help create this universe. And in the Gnostic understanding, they call that the demiurge. And these are just like forces that are within us and within the world that runs within people, and it works to keep the vibration of this world low. You know what I'm trying to say? And before white people, those forces existed within us, and we fought each other. You know what I'm trying to say? But I say we, I mean there was, like you said, there's a good black people and the bad black people. We got to separate ourselves, right? There was always that. So before there was white people, before they came on the scene, before they were created, or whatever theory you want to use, there was still strife amongst us as black people. But it was not about, it was more like the spirits of truth and the spirits of falsehood, the spirits who served the creators of this universe, and the spirits of those who served the God beyond this universe, the God that was hidden, which is really inside of us. You know what I'm trying to say? And that same energy of the energy that wants to keep this world fear-based, eventually those same forces just worked themselves into the new consciousness of this new race, this newer race, this genetically weaker race, and allowed them by serving it certain knowledge and certain strength that would last for a short period of time and would be overconquered by love, and so that's essentially they are a people who knows that their time is running out, because they know that love or God in man is coming back through one black man. And if you read their literature, This is during the COINTELPRO. They have a, this is, I think they probably thought Malcolm X was the Messiah. Maybe that's why they killed him. But they said something about like stopping the rise of the Black Messiah. You know what I'm trying to say? And you've heard that term before? That literature before? J. Edgar Hoover had a thing called COINTELPRO.
I think I have heard of it. It's been a while since I probably need to revisit it. But
the term he used there, the term that he uses there is to stop the rise of the Black Messiah. He could have said stop the rise of Black leaders. He could have said stop the rise of Black economics. He could have said stop the rise of, Black hair or Black pride. No, it was the Black Messiah. So I'm saying that like the reason why that they go around and they're killing Black men is the same prophecy in the Bible that goes into where the Pharaoh realizes, now the Pharaoh is just a word we use for president or leader. The Pharaoh realizes that the Hebrews men, the Hebrews are going to have a Messiah coming through the men. So they went and try to kill the firstborn. You know what I'm trying to say? So in a cop's mind, he pulls that trigger because he knows somewhere inside of that man's heart there's a potential of to be Christ. You know what I'm trying to say? And so they're killing that Black man because of the fear that because it's not like the Black man will be unarmed. The Black man doesn't really have any social economic standing. We don't really have, you know what I'm trying to say? So you're trying to think, how the fuck can they hate us like this? They're hating us because inside of them is demons that their job is to keep the vibration of this world low so they can survive. Now, you have a soul, I have a soul. But if you don't have a soul, then this world is the only place that you exist in. So when this world is over, you no longer exist. So what would you do to keep your world going? That makes sense?
Kill everything.
It's not just about killing. It's about keeping the vibration of the planet within a fear-based planet. You know what I'm trying to say? They have to keep us fear-based.
Yeah.
Because they can't. Again, the soul is eternal. It cannot be killed. The soul cannot be killed.
Then that plays right into racial codependency. Yeah. So wow.
Yes, it goes deep. It's very deep. It's very deep. Yeah. You were saying. I remember you saying yesterday, last interview. You're saying I'm trying to crack the code. I'm thinking to myself, I already cracked it, but I don't want to drop all that knowledge on you. The first time we talk, Yeah, but I've cracked it myself. Yeah. I've cracked it myself, and it's a mixture of understanding psychology, but then also understanding Gnosticism and religion, and understanding metaphysics. Absolutely. So when I deal with white people, they know they know that God is within me, and that I have their future in my hands. So yeah, you can do whatever you want whatever you want to me, but you and me both know that I'm going to rule this world, regardless of your technology. In the Bible, it says, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." So there's something within me that doesn't matter. I don't care what the fuck they have, nukes, tanks. I don't give a damn. Again, I'm rocking with a soul. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm dealing with energy, like in the Matrix. Neo says to Morpheus, he's like, "So you're saying when the time comes, I can dodge bullets?" He's like, when the time comes, you won't have to. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what they're afraid of Black people. That's what they're afraid of. That's what they're afraid of. That's why they have to keep us vibrationally low and codependent. That's it. Most people are thinking it's for their racial survival. I mean, that's part of it, but it's more than that, because what's driving them is a force that is allowing them to, through keeping their that force that they've energetically tied onto, they're allowing them to keep their race going. And those demons are allowing the demons are allowed to stay operating. You know what I'm trying to say? So they work hand in hand. Now, with that said, those demons still work within all races of people. Those demons still work within Black people. Those demons still work within Indian people. Those demons still work within Asian people. You know what I'm trying to say? But this narcissistic empath thing, this is the battle between love and fear, good and evil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So what empaths really are is we're angels of God. That's what we are. They're calling us empaths, but we're angels of God. That's what we are.
Damn. Yep. Boy, I feel all of that, because and it's funny because when I wrote the meme, it's like every time. If I talk about the truth, everybody gets all bent out of shape, especially in white organizations. When you point out something that hey, if we do it this way, we can fix this, this, and this. And it's like, how dare you?
You can't. They can't. They can't because you're thinking that maybe they don't just want us to get ahead economically. It's not about that. What they don't want is for your righteous spirit to ever evolve and to feel as if it can overpower the demons that are inside them.
That's some deep shit.
It is very deep, and when you
and every time in every fucking organization I've ever been in, and I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to, I'm thinking that I'm being helpful, but no. Every time I've done it, it was seen as a threat. And I've been fired. God, how many times I've been fired? Because I'm trying to help. And it's like, damn, every fucking time I try to help, it's like, it's seen as a threat. Like, wait a minute. I'm not trying to threaten you. I'm trying to advance the organization. But that's not how it was interpreted. But what you said just makes sense.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's when you do that, you invoke a certain vibration of God within you, and they have to deaden that spark within you. And they can't. You know what I'm trying to say? They will pay you money. They will pay you money as a black man, so far as long as you're willing to deaden the spark within your own people. Does that make sense?
Oh, hell yeah.
It's not that they won't want to pay you money. It's not that they don't want to pay you money. They'll just pay you money to lower the vibration of your people. That's all. Now, you don't want to do that.
Damn. That's deep.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep and it's very simple. It's very simple and very deep at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. They're trying to keep the vibration of this planet low. So it always stays in a place of fear. And that's how they get you. By constant fear-based programming, the news, the media,
Oh yeah.
Keeping you on levels of survival. Anything to stop you from going within and finding God and understanding understanding your true enemy, which is truthfully, and I think in the Bible it says something about we wrestle not against the flesh, but against principalities and wickedness in high places. You know what I'm trying to say? So what we're fighting is not even the flesh. What we're fighting is something within the hearts of men.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it makes sense. I came up with this axiom a long time ago that white happiness is inversely proportional to black misery. The happier we become, the more frightened they get. So you're right. It actually makes sense. They have to, as long as they're happy when we're most miserable.
They're happy because they're not afraid of losing their world. Because what's inside of them is demons that need to keep that God spark within us down.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. We are the original Titans, as I think in the Greek mythology it goes. It says something. I think it's Greek or Roman, but like we are. You ever hear the story of like Prometheus, whatever?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
So like we fell from a place and how can I put it? But that spark is still within us. You're trying to say that spark or that fire is still within us, and like they need to keep that spark within us quelched at all times, because it's that spark that's going to overthrow them. I mean, as a black man, why are they so afraid of us? I mean, they have fucking tanks, they have nuclear weapons, they have fucking drones, they fucking spy on us. What the fuck are they to fear, man? Look at these motherfucking Negroes up in here. They're fucking shit. They're dumb as shit for the most part as a people. You know what I'm trying to say? We're fucking shiftless. What the fuck is there to fear within us? You know what I'm trying to say? What is there to fear? It's the spark of God within us. That's what they fear.
Yes, I agree with that.
Because if the same person was an Indian man and had the same, they would listen to him. You know what I'm trying to say? Wow. Yeah. So it's not about melanin. It's not about them being bred out. They don't mind. They don't mind a coon. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. And they reward the behavior. So yeah.
They know that a coon knows that a coon is still worships the white man as God.
That's right.
That's exactly correct. It. And does not have a well of love and of God within himself to draw upon, to create, to become lucid in this dream and change their entire reality.
Right. Yeah. It's deep, bro.
I mean, but at the same time, like once you understand it and you let it sink in within your DNA, then it allows you to walk around with a certain amount of confidence, because you're no longer having to constantly overthink yourself. Like, what did I do wrong there? Like, could I have said this better?
You know, it makes sense. You know, it makes sense, because every time I got fucked over, I could I'll give you an example. I'm starting my doctoral journey. I'm cruising along, good grades, publications, everything. September 9th or 11th or whatever it was, they called me into the office. We think you need to go home. I'm like, what the fuck? Go home for what? Well, we think you could benefit from a year of being at home and being in therapy and taking some additional classes. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, what is that? I said, this is a training institute. What is it that I'm not getting here that you wanted to send me home? See, it had nothing to do with my grades. No, they just one guy wanted me out. So they kicked me out. Within 90 days, of course, I called the Title IX people and all the rest of that stuff. Within 90 days, the program was shut down. Within 90 days. It was the most. Every once in a while, God will let you look back and see some of the some of the revenge or taking care of things, you know. Yeah. And it's like, wow. And within that same time frame, I applied to Virginia Tech, and I got in. Unheard of, you know. I got into 2 doctoral programs, and I remember getting to Tech, and I said, "Damn, I'm gonna stay under the radar. I ain't gonna say shit to nobody. I'm gonna keep my nose in the books, stay out of everybody's way." Did it. Now all the shit came up right after I finished coursework. Here's the fun part. I finished coursework in May of 2015. I should have been gone, but I had a coon chair who was narcissistic as hell, who wanted to dim my light. This guy was, I'm thinking I'm impressing this guy. This guy was interpreting my accomplishments as competition. Unfucking believable, right? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking I'm impressing him, and he's like competing with me. So he holds me up from taking the comps for a year, 1 year's time. Financial aid calls me up and says, "Sucking down refunds, bro. You ain't advancing. What's up?" I said, "That's a great question. Why don't you ask my chair?" "Oh, he's on track and he's doing well, and he's going to graduate in December of 2016. None of my cohorts graduated in 2016. None of them. So they bought the lie. They cut my funding. So now I'm having to come out of pocket, and you know, when you out of state and you know tuition and that shit's expensive. Yeah. And you're trying to keep a job, and you're trying to eat, and you're trying to keep an apartment, and you're trying to keep a car, and you're trying to keep gas in the car, and you got to pay insurance, blah, 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 whole nine. And I can't really work as a therapist until I get a license in theory. So I've passed comps, I passed national exam, 3 chapters into my dissertation. So at this point, my committee has turned over 100%. I got 4, basically, I still got 1 committee member hanging on. She's trying to transfer out and go to ECU, my last original committee member. So I'm having to deal with 3 new people, and now it's like 3 new personalities, and I'm having to, modify. They want me to rewrite my chapter 3 and make some changes to chapters 1 and 2. What the fuck? It's like here we go again. So I'm pretty resilient, and I'm gonna keep going. I guess I said all that to say, every time the angel thing makes sense to me.
No, absolutely.
Every month I've been in this apartment, paying rent has been a miracle. It really has been, and it's like, wow, that now, man, you kind of fucked me up with that. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Oh man, we're just getting started, baby. Come on, because that's the tip of the iceberg, man. That's, we're We're just getting started, man. We're just getting started. I said this when you said to me, you said, well, I'm trying to crack the code. I said, oh, this brother's, ooh, okay. He's okay. He wants to go deep. I like that. Because, to be honest, I know a lot of people that, get PhDs. Unfortunately, they kind of come out of there, as you just said, with their will's broken. Hell
yeah. Oh, dude. Why do you think I'm going through so much shit with my committee?
Yeah, they're trying to break your will, dude.
Yeah.
No shit, I know that. Because you're a black man, and the seed of God within you is too powerful, and the love that you have to give to this world is going to change their fucking white supremacist world to the point where they cannot have that. They can't have black love. They can't have black love and black unity. Oh no! Oh shit!
Happiness. Yeah.
No. Not from you. Not from a righteous black man. No. They need some kind of cunified, assimilated. You know what I'm trying to say? Nigger. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
To have their PhDs.
And code switching, brown nose, and sycophantic behavior. Yeah, I've written about that.
That's what they need.
Syndrome, but
that's what they need. That's the kind of person they need making money as an example for the rest of them. To keep the slave pen of the world going. This world is a damn slave pen. See, we thought it was just America and us. No, it's the whole world is in misery, and the whole world is affected by white supremacy and demonic supremacy. And fear-based warmongering supremacy.
Oh, you talk, man. It's like, I swear, if I had the money, I would pack my shit up and go to Ghana right now, because I feel bombs and shit and nuclear warheads coming to, Russia. Sometimes I think it's staged, and sometimes I think it's real.
Sometimes it is staged. Sometimes it is staged. Again, they want to keep you fear-based. So they control the news, right? So they'll put shit on there that's fake just to keep you fear-based.
Wow.
But here's the thing, though. When you understand the world's an illusion, and what you're seeing, if you look under a microscope, what do you see? Just, you see molecules. You know what I'm trying to say? If you go deep into the molecules, what are you going to find? Energy. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
The energy comes from your soul. Your soul was created before this universe was even formed. So what you're looking at, all you're seeing is like in the Matrix. All you're doing is seeing zeros and ones. You know what I'm trying to say? We're in this world, all trying to find ourselves, and through finding ourselves, we find the knowledge of God. You know what I'm trying to say? And then realize that our goal in here really is to help vibrate the planet to a certain. I live my life by five principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Now, we cannot vibrate, this planet cannot vibrate to the vibration that it has to vibrate to unless all five of those principles are met to the fullest extent.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's their job to make sure that those things do not come out, or else they'll lose their demonic grip on this world, and it will vibrate to a place where they no longer have no purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much it. I mean, they right now they have a purpose because people still can be traumatized by fear. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm to the point now as a black man where I'm not even afraid of death. The way I see it is, I've already died thousands of times in this Matrix. What's 1,001? What have they done to my ancestors that you know what I'm trying to say? They've already raped us and beat us and lynched us and castrated us. What possibly more could they do for us to stop being afraid of them? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you have to realize, you have to see the world for what it is. A constant cycle of death and reincarnation until we learn the lessons that we have to learn to get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
I believe that.
Yes.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Woo! Deep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm used to talking like this all the time. So I mean, obviously I can't talk to many people about it because I don't want to.
No, man. This level of conversation,
yeah,
rare for me. And even in the academy, which is bullshit, I can never have this conversation.
Yeah.
So it's always been outside.
Yeah, I had to leave college because it was overbearing for me. I went and spoke to this lady, she's a white lady who had 3 PhDs in philosophy, and she was three PhDs. I said, what the? You would think that, and I was in everything she was saying. I was just like, yep. I was almost like repeating her words because the thing is they can't, like, she couldn't. There's things that I was saying to her that she could not come to terms with. You know what I'm trying to say? And so I had to realize that, I'm not going to waste my time writing things for people that I already know and proving to people that are stupider than me. You know You know what I'm trying to say? So you know what I'm trying to say? You know, here, stupid lady, accept my intelligence. You know, even though you're too stupid to understand it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to dull my senses. I said, the stuff I'm going to be doing in my life, I don't need them. I mean, if I want to be a therapist, I understand that you need their certificate. So, you know, get that out of the way, man. And, you know, you're going to do great things, you know, especially not when your mind is not hampered down by their, you know, their programming. That's what we need. We need to be deprogrammed, you know, so we get the hell up out this bitch.
Oh, dude. I mean, but see, part of white validation syndrome is fear-based survival. How am I going to pay for this car unless I please the giant? How am I going to pay for rent, food, clothing, and shelter, and, you know, electricity and cell phone? I got to please the giant, so I'm going to compromise and sacrifice a part of myself, which is really fucked up, because when I start to split off a part of me that I need, then something else gets compromised. And you're right. I think it degrades the soul.
It does.
To split off a part of me in compromise to please this motherfucker.
Exactly.
Because at some point in time, I'm going to pay for that. And I tell you where you pay for it. You pay for it in a relationship. All your shit comes up within a love relationship. There's no other place for it to go.
Correct.
That's where the energy comes out and at somebody else who ain't got nothing to do with all this, you know, and everybody drags their own shit into the relationship. And, you know, until you actually, you know, have some type of reconciliation as to how you got there and the impact it's going to have on your relationship. Because I break couples down all the time. I'm like, y'all swinging that ghost. You swinging that shit from the past that is coming up in your relationship. Yours came from childhood. Yours came from a shitty relationship with your dad. You know, some of it came from your job. And so where do you discharge that energy? In a love relationship every time.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's why the divorce rate's so damn high.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because the pressure of this world is created literally to break your will, and by your will, you know, if your will is to know and love God. You know what I'm trying to say? By nature, and any child has the love of God. I mean, you can see that as a man. You look at the child, and just when they're carefree, you see the love of God within them shining.
It's a beautiful thing to watch.
It's
beautiful,
and it's a horrible thing to watch how they get older and older, and as they become more and more pressures of the matrix is put on them. Oh well, now you know you got to start thinking about getting your or getting this and that. Or no, they got all these ego milestones and matrix milestones. You know what I'm trying to say? And pressures are put upon them, and that spark of love and God within inside them begins to deaden. You know. Very, I mean, you know, very few people are able to keep that love, and that's why a lot of people become narcissists, because that spark of God within them, the will of God within them, dies, and they begin to serve the will of the flesh and become zombies or matrix background characters.
Damn, that actually makes sense.
Yeah,
because narcissism is a reaction to the environment, to a harsh environment in which I'm not getting my love needs met.
Exactly.
And so what happens is the kid says, well, you know, well, fuck everybody in this environment. I'll just do it myself. I don't need your love. I don't need your validation. I don't need you to acknowledge me. I'll just do it myself. And the kid becomes cold and distant. And when the caretaker walks in the room, there's no spark. There's no energy. Because your first image, a child's first image of God is through the parents. Mm-hmm. The parents are fucked up and, you know, what's the hope for the kid?
It's really hard. The kid has to learn how to go within and find God within. It's difficult. I know how to do it myself. Yeah. You
talk about, and this is what brings folks to therapy. I mean, it's like, you know, damn. Well, tell me more about what happened to you. You know, and then, you know, slowly but surely you'll hear this tragic stories of incest, molestation, alcoholism, violence, and it's like, wow. And you survived that shit, and the survival mechanism never was really shut off. So here you are going into a relationship with a live wire survival mechanism that is firing, even though the environment doesn't have any threats in it.
Bingo.
And it continues to fire.
Yep.
And then here, it takes 20 sessions to put that damn flame out.
Yep. Yep. It's hard, man. Oh my
You start
gosh.
to understand that, and I'll hear clients say this shit all the time. I never really thought about it like that. I didn't know I was doing that.
They never had time to think and process.
No. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me give you this is a theory I built based upon my own understanding, and it goes like this. It's a 5-step process. It's knowledge, action, pain, introspection, and wisdom. So most people, they have pain, but they never take time for introspection. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they're too busy, like you said, on a survival mode. And because they never take the time to go inward and self-reflect, you have to be the mind for them, and the heart and the compassion for them, to care about them, because they couldn't care about themselves, because they've never had the courage to go inward and reflect. So you have to reflect for them. Does that make sense? As an empath. Yeah. So like a lot of my work is teaching people how to go inward. And that it's like I know with a lot of Black people and just people in general, they need permission to meditate. They need permission to go inward and find God. You know what I'm trying to say? And a lot of it is, this world. It's so easy in this world to not deal with pain. I can go try on Netflix. I can go smoke weed. I can drink. I can go party. I can get it. Yeah, I can get me a girlfriend. I can get me some sex. All types of types of things to do other than going inward and knowing a knowledge of self and God. So, the world's always here to sell you stuff, and by the world I mean the white man. The world, he's always here to sell you something, so you don't have to find God. So he breaks you down to a level of an animal where he deadens your spark, and then he doesn't want you to find that, so he gives you lots of alternatives with your low self-esteem.
Right.
Yeah, with your low self-esteem to go ahead and buy all kinds of nice fancy things.
I'm drawing several associations. And part of that distraction, if I don't know how, I always ask all my clients, all of them, how do you love yourself? None of them have an idea. I got nice clothes, I got a car, I got a house, got a degree, I'm money, I'm established, I'm a successful professional. I'm like, okay, that's all external shit. How do you love yourself on the inside? I don't know. I never really thought about it. They have been going. Because there was never a prototype in their environment, there's nothing to compare it to. I don't know how to love myself. And if I don't know how to love myself, I'll make you take care of me. I don't know how to love myself. I'll make everybody in my environment take care of me.
What about the white man? Will he take? You see that kind of racial codependency? The white man. See the white people. The white people have the finance. You know what I'm trying to say? To be able to, like you said, with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, they have those needs met for the most part. Not all of them, but for the most part, compared to Black people, it's quite a gap in terms of economics. So they're looking. They've already been programmed to see Christ as a white man through slavery, even though Christ in other countries is a brown man. In Europe, is a black man. It's only here. It's only here in America and other places in Africa, where dark-skinned people are, that we worship Christ as a white guy. In Europe, they worship him as a black man, like he originally was. But that's besides the point. So they're already drawing upon that we see them as godly, right? And now they don't have the issue having to be in the bottom rung of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So now we're looking at them because they have more self-actualization than we do, as if they are godly. Does that make sense? And so why wouldn't we be codependent upon God? It just you see? It just makes sense. We're all fucked up, but we don't realize how we've been fucked up. And the science of being fucked up, and why they keep us fucked up.
Oh, yeah. This whole think tanks, we're the most socially engineered people on the planet.
Oh, absolutely.
Think tanks of people who sit around and just think of how we're going to maintain, and they're maintaining so much control over us. They don't see the little Asian kids are kicking their ass. They don't see that other dark-skinned people are closing in. They're so focused on us You know, and they think they got the Asians. They ain't got the Asians. You know, you think? Mm-mm. Yeah, I was looking at. I'm a nerd, so I'm always looking at the spelling bee. There hasn't been a white kid to win a spelling bee in the last 20 years. 20.
No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I mean, I would have to say that the Asians also have, not all of them, but a lot of them have given into that whole demiurge energy, that whole demonic energy as well. Trying to get what the white man's at, you know?
Yeah, they're codependent too.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
But I want to say this, going back to you said about think tanks, you know, that to me is kind of what part of the reason why I created this group, because we need black, you know, like you said about, you know, there's a lot of black people that don't really care. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm creating a think tank of empaths. You know what I'm trying to say?
Everybody on the same page.
That's the whole, exactly.
I've always said that. You got to separate them out.
Yes, exactly.
Who give a shit from the ones who don't, and then you can start to
bingo.
You know,
you can't really go around and meet many people like ourselves. You know what I'm trying to say?
No.
Who actually do care and have their hearts and their minds in the right place and are willing to fight for you know, God, really. You know what I'm trying to say? Really willing to fight for love and fight for their people. You know what I'm trying to say? Who are the children, the daughters and sons of God. So, I'm probably gonna wrap up here, but I mean, I would love for you to join our Discord at some point here. I'll give you the information on that. But I mean, we're gonna have plenty of conversations in the future. I'd love to have us, you know, have some kind of group conversation too. You know, I don't want to take your beautiful mind and harness it all for myself.
No problem, man. It's just I'm just happy to be in the same space with like-minded folks.